Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Spring Fever. As always, it is me, XFL Jim, joined by the one, the only, the man himself. It is Erik, aka Uncle Reek.
Whoa. You know what the funny thing is I have that same exact tank top from The Rock somewhere.
I bet you do.
Somewhere. But it's white, not black.
The reason I gave you that one, Erik, is because you're always quick to, when I'm getting too crazy and too hype, you're always quick to, try and bring me back down to level. I should have listened to you on Sunday, because this week we are doing Spring Fever without the XFL Gym YouTube, because I am banned for a week.
You're in timeout, dude. It happens, dude.
I'm in YouTube timeout.
I did find something out. My boy Bryce from the I Need It Sports Pod was on my show last night, and we're talking NBA, and what him and his crew do is they actually are they show the footage of these basketball games, but in the description, I'll have to send it to you. He says it's copyright from here, it's from here, we get it from here. So maybe
I don't know if that protects you or not. I mean, it probably could, I've never gotten banned from showing UFL or XFL or USFL clips. This was from the stream where I did the Power Hour.
Oh, were you just drinking?
It was the music and the music videos that got it. That's what done it.
Okay. That's what done it.
This is the second time I've been banned. The first time was another live stream where I showed the entirety of the opening segment to the movie Drive. But in my defense on that one, both of them, I was very drunk for both of these. Erik, you can attest to my level of inebriation on Sunday.
Jim, you were having a good time, buddy.
And you know how else you can have a good time? You can head over to Royal Retros, the presenting sponsor of Spring Fever, and cap yourself some. You know what? I'm feeling Philadelphia Stars. Go get a Philadelphia Stars. I'm gonna say a hat of some kind. If they have a beanie, I would go with a beanie. What they need to do, we need to get with the people over at Royal Retros, is get a blob face beanie, and just get Blob's face as a hat.
Okay, I can see that. I can F around with that.
We'll see if we can message the people over there. But when you go to Royal Retros, the presenting sponsor of Spring Fever, you put in promo code Spring Fever, all caps, all one word. You get 10% off. Royal Retros has everything your heart could desire when it comes to merch. They have the Philadelphia Stars. They have the Las Vegas Extreme. They have it all. Jeff, shout out Jeff, my man. It was something.
24 hours of gym. Jesus.
that was last year. That was on Twitch only.
I remember that one time when I came on to do your thing. That was over Labor Day, and you were sleeping.
No. That was Memorial Day, Erik. That was
Memorial Day. Sorry.
Because the crazy, so that was Memorial Day Part 2. So I do a special stream every Memorial Day for the people that are unaware. Year 1 was 2021. I tried to see how many hot dogs I could eat in a day. The answer was 31, and it was brutal. Year 2, I tried to see how many beers I could drink in a day. Only made it to 30, but I did the dumb thing where I was just pounding them right away, no waters, and then I was tired and I passed out. I fell asleep for 8 hours on stream.
8 hours is 3 days for me, dude.
I got a great day's sleep. It was the middle of the day on Memorial Day. I slept through the entirety of Memorial Day.
Respect.
It was fantastic, Erik. Let's continue looking into the past. Let's look at the UFL from last week just a little bit. What did we think of everything that happened in week 3, Erik?
Quick takeaways. Renegades are inventing ways to lose games.
They were last 2 weeks. They were up in the fourth quarter and ended up losing this one. They were up with 5 minutes left to go? Less?
Correct. Yep. Just inventing. They could easily be. Excuse me. This team is 0-3. They could easily be 3-0. Go ahead.
They handily lost to the Stallions.
Okay.
They could flip a coin. They could be 2-1. Flip a coin. The XFL division to me is way more competitive. That was my first takeaway.
Showboats aren't going anywhere this year because their offensive line.
Awful.
Panthers, their offense looked better. Does that speak to they figured some stuff out? Or is the Stallions defense just ahead of schedule? Better, so much better than everyone else's. Also, is the Battlehawks defense a little better than we thought? Brahmas.
Battlehawks in general might be better than we thought. And the Battlehawks are getting Ja'Cour Pearson back.
Brahmas lost their QB1. I think that's going to hurt them moving forward. Defensively, they really struggled. You and I were talking. I was lucky enough to be on your stream when everything was going on. Didn't like some of their decisions. I thought they should have went for it a couple times. Should have gone for it after scoring. Were able to hit them plus 12.5. And guys, if you're able to watch these games, and that's the key word, watch, you're able to make money live betting just because of how the rules are. We've been lucky enough to hit some big whales. I mean, we got the Brahmas at plus 12.5 at plus money.
Got that one, and the week before I got them at plus 1,500 money line.
Yeah, so you're able to get these insane stuff. But it's important though to kind of be able to watch the game. Even the defenders, you're able to get the defenders, I think, at 4 to 1 live at some point.
Yeah, I think at like 5 to 1 at a decent chunk of it because they were struggling there.
If you're able to watch these games and bet live, like you're able to make some money. That's kind of like my quick little takeaways from week 3, excuse me.
My quick takeaways: the XFL division seems way more competitive than the USFL division. It seems like Birmingham is again going to run away with the USFL. I'm pegging right now, Eric. If I look at the full schedule ahead, I think I said week 5 on a different show. Let me make sure. Yes, the Birmingham Stallions will lose in week 5 to the Houston Roughnecks. I'm calling it right now.
Dude, if they lose to the Roughnecks, I think that'd be hilarious.
Eric, do you know what team they have lost to at least once these previous 2 years? When they were running through the USFL. The Gamblers, both years, at least once, they have lost to the Gamblers. The Gamblers have, I believe, the best record against the Stallions.
Okay. I'll give it to you. You know what? I will give it to you.
I'm calling the week 5 upset of the Roughnecks over the Stallions. As far as week 4 matchups go, I guess we could go into it, but before we do that, Eric, let's take a look at some of these futures, the updated futures. Let's start with the Houston Roughnecks. They're the lowest one, 35 to 1 plus 3,500.
No, too far against the 8 ball. Basically, elimination game this weekend with them against the
Renegades. Yes. I'm going to say whoever loses that game is officially out of playoff contention. Officially. Speaking of which, the Renegades plus 2,200, 22 to 1.
To me, that one is one that kind of has legs. Just because, we can make a case they can be 2-1. They can kind of piece together, maybe sneak in a little bit, but they need to win this game. So if you think they're going to win this game, I think there's value on playing the 21 to 1 small.
They need to have a run game, which they sort of started developing against DC, but it needs to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, the Memphis Showboat sitting at 13 to 1 plus 1,300.
Offensive line's too bad. I think they should be closer priced to what the Renegades are. That's way too short of a price.
The Case Cookus is dying out there.
Yes, he is.
The man is dying.
Literally.
Michigan Panthers up next at plus 950. Intriguing. Maybe the biggest improvement from a team from week 2 to week 3, but I'm going to wait. I want to see more out of EJ Perry in this offense.
Yeah, you kind of have to figure. We need to know what the baseline is of this offense. Stallions, Battlehawks defensives look a little bit better than we initially thought. They lit up the Roughnecks. So I'm sure what they are is kind of like in between what we've seen so far, if that makes sense.
I think their week 4 matchup versus the Brahmas, who we believe usually is a pretty good defense, like they're a decent defense. I think this will be telling.
Yes.
But again, week 5 is when all the chaos and illumination happens. Remember that, folks. Up next, speaking of which, the Brahmas plus 650, but we already had them at what, like, I forget what we got them at, like 18-1, something like that.
Yeah.
Then it's the DC Defenders at plus 550.
Yep.
I don't know if I like.
I hate that, Jim. Jim, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't like it. I don't really like the Defenders this year. They haven't shown enough on offense. And as much as we love Dr. Heat and I love Greg Williams' aggressive defensive play calling, it's going to burn them.
Yep.
Battlehawks plus 250. Battlehawks plus 250.
Way too low. Way too low. Yeah. Insanely too low. Insanely too low.
And then the Birmingham Stallions are plus 140. And honestly, the way we're sitting right now, I say take them after week 4 when they lose to the Roughnecks.
Yeah, after they lose, that's when you get more invested in them.
But
right now,
there's a very realistic chance that they don't lose this year.
Then you don't take them. There's no point in forcing a bet.
I will say this. If they don't lose to the Roughnecks in week 5, the matchup I am looking forward to the most maybe of the season, week 7, Eric, St. Louis goes to Birmingham.
I'm looking forward to the Roughnecks Renegades this weekend. Two bottom dwellers needing to win the
Backs
game
against the wall.
I think that's gonna my hot take is that's gonna be the best game of the week this week.
Okay, so I like calling game of the week. I think I said for week 4, my game of the week was going to be Panthers Brahmas. But I could very easily see Renegades Roughnecks. They got to be pulling out all the stops.
Yeah, because you can't go 0-4. I think you're gonna see them each be more aggressive, looking to go for it. They're going to push it because they can't go against it. 2 teams battling for their season. That's what I love. I think that's going to be the game of the week.
First game on FS1 of the season.
I like it.
Before we get to the games and the picks and whatnot, we'll take a look at some other things that the people of the community like to look at. Erik, attendance numbers. Can you guess high and low for this week?
I think the highest game was the Stallions game.
For attendance. Correct.
For attendance.
12,265. Not great, not awful.
I think the lowest attended game was the Panthers Roughnecks.
Correct. 6,952. The Michigan Panthers continue their trend of going down week to week.
I think the most watched game. I think the most watched game was the Roughnecks Panthers.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, it was not. It was second most watched.
Stallions Showboats.
No. Battlehawks, San Antonio.
Okay.
1.02 million.
Ooh. I think the least watched game was Renegades Defenders.
Renegades Defenders, yeah, ESPN 534,000, directly going up against the Masters.
Interesting to see Battlehawks, great crowd. On these away games, are they just going to be blowing out the viewership numbers? I think that's something we need to kind of track to kind of get that baseline. Also, Michigan, I know they have the lease with Ford, I think for one more year, Ford Field. What happens if the numbers just keep decreasing? Is that because everyone's talking about expansion? Do they look to move them?
Could we just get to a different field? Is there a different venue that they could go to? That's like, because so for most of the teams,
and
like
then fairness. All, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize for that. Construction right now in downtown Detroit,
pretty nuts.
To use the term from my dear sweet mother, is a bitch. So I think that right there. Look, do you want to sit in construction? You know what I mean? Like that probably could factor a little bit into stuff as well. Along with the Red Wings haven't been anywhere near the playoffs in 7 years. Like, is that
well? Now that's out of the picture.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I'm just saying like that's going right there. Is that a factor? Tigers playing well. Lot of little things going on. I think could even out toward that.
I think that, and also from like just sources and things that I've heard, they did a really like the so what the UFL does is similar
Sources
with the
or
both leagues did.
Brett McMurphy on Twitter? Which
No,
sources are we?
there's people like just people that DM me and shit.
Oh,
It sounds like so there's like the UFL hired local people like local marketing and things like that to push things out. From what I've heard, the Michigan like marketing team and ticketing team did a pretty bad job of like they only started giving out like single game tickets like 2 weeks before the season.
geez.
And yeah, it was like some of the markets did not a great job. And I noticed this from the XFL in 2023 that like certain markets would do really well. Like DC does a really good job. Vegas last year did a really bad job. So maybe a little bit of that. I'm sure construction has something to do with it. I also, my opinion of like all the teams in general, because it's not just Michigan. Like Houston hasn't been great. Arlington has been all right. Birmingham isn't what we want them to be, even though they're like decent. San Antonio isn't where we would like them to be. I think, obviously, the Battlehawks are in a perfect spot, but I think more teams need to be set up sort of like DC, where DC Stadium, Audi Field holds what, like 20, 25,000 tops? So
Yeah,
when you put like when you put like 15,000 people at Audi Field for DC, it looks packed. You need to like I don't know how easy it would be to do.
But I mean, like the issue with Detroit is there's no other place you can play.
That's
The
the issue.
The ML, but there's no field. There's no like soccer field. There's no you can't go and play at Wayne State because that's going to be embarrassingly small. You can't convert Comerica to a football field because of Major League Baseball is going on there. Ford Field is it. The MLS team is going to be playing at Ford Field. Look, it's one of those things you have to be inventive. I talked about it with you. If you're not going to allow people behind the net goalpost, you got to be creative with the way that you kick the ball. You got to be creative with the way you show the field to at least give the optics that it's there. I always felt the one thing that the MLS did insanely good when it opened up, everything they really partnered with bars there. So it's something where they able to tie in, hey, you know what? Go here after the game, you can get a free drink with your ticket stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, the Michigan Panthers pregame is at Chelios's. Chelios is a local bar in Detroit next to it. Go to Chelios's, you show your ticket stub, you can come in after the game, you get a free app. Something like that, because we all know, we all go to bars. Who goes to the bar? Hey, you know what? I have a free app. You know what? That's going to lead to like 4 beers. So I don't know. I think Michigan can get a little bit inventive with the way they do stuff, but they really need to kind of start picking it up because this marketing team has been embarrassing.
The TV numbers have been good, but yes, the local stuff needs work. Other little tidbit before we go into the picks. Weekend. Shout out Ken Gill, Arena Fan Ken on Twitter for posting this. The weekend of 413 to 414. Overall TV ratings for the weekend. Number 1, of course, the Masters. Averaged 8.09 mil.
Okay.
Number 2, NASCAR.
Yes. Where's our boy
1.5.
NASCAR? Where's our boy NASCAR in the chat?
I know, right? I miss him. Number 3, NBA.
Okay.
Number 4, UFC. It was UFC 300.
Yeah, big event.
Number 5, UFL.
Okay.
Above NHL. Above the college football spring games, like Ohio State and I believe Alabama's were both on like cable TV. Above EPL, above MLB, and above MLS.
That's pretty good, man. You can't complain with where they are.
They're up so much more than they were last year, which is great. Makes sense.
People are turning in. They're incorporating the betting stuff a little bit more, which is great. I mean, the people they have talking about it aren't the smartest people in the world when it comes to betting, which is fine. But they're at least incorporating and talking about it. The in-game stuff, how they're interviewing people on the sidelines, I know you want more, but I think it's good. I think it's good with the
I want more
you know,
specifically from Fox. ESPN does a good job. What ESPN needs to dial back on is maybe stop listening in to the coaches give the play calls as much
mhm.
and like kind of let some of the stuff breathe. I think both broadcasts could take a little bit away from each other.
Okay. All right. I like how they have Brock Heward on the sidelines talking to the coaches about plays and
I do
everything.
like that.
Um, I wish I don't like I don't like Dean Banglino. Just give me Mike Pereira all the time,
Oh,
every
see,
time.
I'm not a big Mike Pereira guy. I'm fine with
Yeah,
Dean.
I'm not a big Dean guy.
Well, Dean does not work on Saturdays. Apparently, it's been Mike all Saturdays and Dean all Sunday.
That's because Mike likes to tear it up on a Friday night, dude.
It's true. You ready to get some of these picks, Eric?
You know what? You know what, brother? Let's do it.
Game number 1, Saturday, April 20th, 11:30 a.m. Central Time, God's time. The Memphis Showboats take on the St. Louis Battlehawks in the Battle Dome, where the Battlehawks are -7 favorites. Probably going to be close to 7.5 here in a little bit. Over under set at 45.5, plus 275 on the money line for the Shodies. Eric, you touching this one at all?
Look, dude, I want to get there. I really, really, really want to get there with the showboats. But when you look at it, what can they do? Like literally, like what can they do? Let's look at it. When we look at the Battlehawks, you can run on the Battlehawks. What do you need to do to have a good run game? You
Yeah, the
need to have a
Showboats
good
can't run.
offensive line. You need to win at the point of attack. They can't do that at all. And I just feel that because of that, Battlehawks defense, which we saw when they played Michigan, is a pretty good defense. They can get at the quarterback, and Michigan's offensive line is significantly better than the Showboats offensive line. I just think they're too weak in the trenches to be able to do anything. Is this number a little bit inflated? Yeah. But we talked about it before. Battlehawks will probably get off to a good start. You're probably going to be able to get this number above 10 at some point during the game, and that's what you're going to be looking to do.
Yeah, I'm probably. I mean, I'm picking everything here, so I am going to take the Battlehawks -7. My real play though is the over 45.5 because from watching these St. Louis games, somehow they just let people score. I don't know what San Antonio was thinking in a lot of that game yesterday.
Uh-huh.
St. Louis has a couple. Their defensive line is injured quite a bit still. I don't know if those guys are all coming back for this game. I'm gonna take the over, but I think St. Louis covers the spread. Next up, Eric, 6 p.m. Saturday. DC Defenders, Birmingham Stallions. The Stallions, the largest spread of the week. Stallions are -8 home favorites. Back-to-back home games for the Stallions. Over under of 47, plus 320 on the money line.
Did the defenders figure something out offensively is my question to you.
Probably not. A, I don't really love their play calling. B, Jordan Tomu is like, I don't know. He's been dangerous with the ball a little bit. I don't love this DC Defenders team. They're so offensively not great.
Who's given up the least amount of rushing yards this year? The Stallions.
Total? Yeah, it's the Stallions.
You know, they have given up the fourth most passing yards, so you can be able to throw on them maybe a little bit, but you really trust defenders to be able to throw the ball. When we're looking at the numbers here, the defenders are middle of the pack throwing the ball. I want to take the defenders just because with the Stallions keep on winning, this number is going to naturally just be inflated. But the defender's offense hasn't given you anything where you're like, you know what? They're going to be able to move the ball. The Stallions, I don't like this 2-quarterback system. Granted, Adrian Martinez played a little bit more, but I feel that was Martinez's quote unquote ceiling game. He can really only go down from there. End of the day, for me, this is just a pass. I'll probably look to take the defenders live.
That's also if they start Martinez and not just do the Matt Corral thing again.
Yeah, we don't know what they're going to do. We have no idea what they're going to do.
And if they start Martinez, I kind of like DC here because the one thing that they love to do is blitz, blitz, and blitz, and blitz. And I feel like you said, his ceiling game was last week, especially as a passer.
Oh my God! If they start Martinez, I'm gonna fade him. Like if this game starts, and I'm gonna be hopping on your live stream, and Adrian Martinez trots out there, I'm immediately gonna be fading the shit out of the Stallions, just because I feel that was the peak.
I'm gonna go the under. If I have to play a side, I trust them too much. I'm going to go with the Stallions -8, but the real play is the under. I love the under 47. These are two, like, no one's running on anybody. They're all going to be forced to pass the ball. And I feel if there's a prop bet out there for, like, over-under interceptions in the total game, I would take, like, 3.5, 4 interceptions between both teams.
I like it.
Because this is going to be ugly. Also, Saturday, also 6 p.m., also on Fox. Michigan Panthers, San Antonio Brahmas. So the reasoning I think that they're doing this, Eric, they're splitting the broadcast on this, is Fox wants all eyes on Talladega on Sunday. That's what's going on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's this weekend. Yeah. I think they want all eyes on Dega on Sunday. So Fox isn't going to do nothing.
Which is fine. I mean, NASCAR's a big moneymaker. They've been really engaged with them. But that does kind of make sense. In terms of this game, look, who's QB1? Who's starting the quarterback?
For which one? For the Brahmas?
For the Brahmas. Yeah.
It's probably going to be Quentin Dormady.
Okay. All right.
Who I think is one of the better backups in the league.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this, Eric. You might see me with a little Quentin Dormady later.
Do you
Probably
trust
not.
The Panthers defense?
I do. Their defense is legit. Their defense is good, dude.
You know what, dude? I'm not gonna lie. I
don't trust their offense.
I really want to take the Brahmas here.
Well, the fact that they're favored, I guess they're at home, so it makes sort of sense. But new quarterback coming in against a pretty good defense of the Panthers, and they're -1.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the Brahmas here. This is the line smelling a little fishy to me.
Okay,
so I'm gonna lean into it. Give me the Brahmas -1. Give me the under 41 though. Give me under 41. Okay. This is gonna be an ugly game. Game of the week though. Game of the week. This is Jim's game of the week. I'll probably just bet Brahmas -1. Their defense has been like unsung. People haven't been talking about their defense enough because they're sleeping on them. And then Sunday, the lone Sunday game, Eric. Renegades, Roughnecks. The Renegades are -3 road favorites in Houston. Over under 46.5 plus 130 on the money line. Live bet this game. Because the Renegades will be up, and whether you'll be able to see just based on the look and vibes of this game, whether or not they can go the distance this time or not.
Interesting game. Roughnecks obviously started a different quarterback. He has one game under his belt. Is he going to have the flow, the offense, offensive system? How is that going to look? Renegades, they just invent ways to lose the games. How they lost that game against the Defenders is absolutely mind-blowing. Luckily, they're still able to cover the 1.5 for me. I hate laying points on the road. absolutely hate it. But if I was forced to make a bet here, I am going to take the Renegades. I think they have the better coach, better quarterback, better skill players, better offensive line. I will take the Renegades here -3.
Eric, who do you think has the best passing? Who do you think has the most passing yards? I should say. As a team.
Renegades.
It's the Renegades.
Yeah.
They are statistically speaking so much better than Houston. They're like statistically, just looking at the stats, they're up there with like the Battlehawks, Brahmas, and above the Defenders even.
Mm-hmm. And it's just it is.
They,
but it comes back to the
stupidity.
thing. And you're inventing ways to lose fucking games.
As a Nebraska fan, I know all about that.
Mm-hmm.
I trust the Renegades to get it done here. They're not going to be the first ones that we're officially, as Spring Fever, labeling out of the playoffs. They won't be the first. The Renegades will not be the first ones out of the playoffs. I'm calling it right now. You're calling this the game of the week, though, Eric. This is your game of the week.
This is the Uncle Rico bonanza.
I'm taking the Renegades -3 over 46.5.
Okay.
Ugh. Ugh. It's nasty. That game's gonna be fun. Ready to build us a fucking team, Eric?
You know what? I'm pulling up the DK app right now.
While you're doing that, let's shoot off our hot takes. Hot take coming up for week 4. My hot take will be. This sucks because I love him so much. Because I love Chase Garbers. But my hot take, Quentin Dormady better than Chase Garbers as a quarterback. For the Browns.
My hot take, Defenders are going to upset the Stallions.
I like it. I wait until next week, but I like your gumption, Eric. That's the hot take segment. And now for the people, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen a little bit. You can see what I'm playing.
Okay.
You want to do this together, Eric?
Let's do it together. You know what? We'll build one together.
Okay, so we got, do you like to go defense first overall?
I kind of like going defense first and kind of build from there.
Okay.
And I love paying down for defenses.
What do you mean?
I don't like to take the Stallions, Battlehawks, Roughnecks.
No. I like to do basically anything here and lower. Honestly, the Renegades are going up against the Roughnecks.
So I'm going to go with the Renegades.
And they said they're probably going to play both quarterbacks. They're probably going to play multiple quarterbacks. The Roughnecks are.
All right, so I'm going to go with, I'm doing it, Jim.
So we'll go Renegades. I like them too. They hurt me last week, but a lot of the defenses didn't do great last week.
All right, now let's go up to the quarterback position.
We got the quarterbacks right here. Obviously, number 1, A.J. McCarron sitting up there. But when you think about it, St. Louis's off defense is nothing compared to Birmingham. I talked about it on the stream. I expect a bounce back from Memphis, like at least a little bit. I wouldn't hate people for taking Cookus. He's still 9,500. So it's still fairly expensive. Again, I wouldn't hate you for taking Perez either.
I mean, to me, I think I look at it like this. Let's look at it. Defensive. Showboats allow the most defensive yards. Defenders second most. Roughnecks and Battlehawks are 3-4 with a 32 yards difference, if you will. I'm gonna take Perez. I know he's coming off a big game, but if you kind of look at it, let's look at it above.
Dude's consistent.
Showboats, you expect a better effort. EJ Perry, do you trust him? Tomo's been hit or miss. Cookus has no offensive line. Martinez and Corral, you just got to flip a coin. To me, Perez is pretty much the surest thing on the board because he's not going to be in for the rushing stuff when it's like 4th and 1 in the 50.
Yeah,
that's what he's not going to be in for. But you're going to get the passing yards. You're middle of the pack passing defense. Perez to me makes the most sense. So I have Renegades and Perez.
I like Perez as well because like below him, Sinnott against the Renegades defense, I would like, but also they've said that they're going to play a different quarterback as well. Like they're going to also play Nolan Henderson a little bit. He has said that's what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like playing Lindsey Scott at all because Lindsey Scott will get some play, but like Erik said, that he's going to bring him in to run.
Yeah.
I like playing Perez. You're kind of taking a risk. Like I don't think Stoops is the kind of guy that would pull a QB like mid game.
Oh, I don't think so.
And Perez honestly isn't the reason the Renegades are like losing. It's not on him.
Oh, not at all.
Now we got the running back, Erik, which is one of the toughest ones to go for.
Running back is a bitch to go for.
I don't hate Ricky Persons, but against this DC team, I hate taking any running back.
So let's let me get organized here, Jimbo. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
All right. So we're looking at it right here. Okay.
There's so many guys that I just don't love.
All right. So the Stallions, we got. Okay, I'm gonna go here. Team rushing defense. What about?
Who are you thinking?
Do we pay up for McFarland?
Whew, McFarland against Michigan?
Yeah.
For San Antonio, 8,900. He's pretty high up there. They do love using him in the passing game. New quarterback, though. They might rely on him more for the dump down stuff.
I mean, 3 receptions for 24, targeted 4 times, coming off a 15.3 performance, averaging 10.9 points per game. We're paying up a little bit. We've paid down at the other positions. And it's a PPR thing with DraftKings. Because of that, I kind of like playing the McFarland thing here.
I like it too because with Dormady coming in, I dig it because they're going to be using him as like a sort of safety net, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I'll dig it, yeah. Running back is like the hardest one to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Receivers! I feel like you got to get at least one St. Louis guy in there.
All right. So, receiving. This is always a fun thing, my friend. All right. So this is my thing. You feel you have to get a Battlehawks guy in there. Battlehawks are playing the defenders. What was the Battlehawk? What Battlehawks guy went off last week?
Butler went off, I believe. Also, I don't know if Shepard went off. Shepard
did not. We told everyone to stay away from that.
Did Aitman do decent? Aitman, no. It was Butler.
All right,
Butler
so
went
now
off. Hakeem Butler went off last week for what, 20 points?
I think.
Yeah, 20 points. What are you thinking, Erik?
Kind of thinking Shepard.
So Shepard went off 2 weeks ago, but also Aitman went off 2 weeks ago.
All right, so So you said you wanted to battle. Let's hold off.
I would like a battle just because that offense is going to go crazy. You just have to you're rolling the dice a little bit on which guy's going to get fed.
All right. Now, sneakily, defensively, Memphis has given up the most. DC Renegades. Is there a Roughnecks wide receiver you like?
Ooh, there actually is, I believe. So, I get he's low on the board right now. I do like Isaiah Henny. I think he. Okay, so did he even play in these games? Okay, he did in week 1. Did not play week 2, and then came back for week 3. He's also a factor in the return game. Usually, they really only have Hall. It looks like for.
Are you there? Did I lose you? Can you hear me?
I muted myself here. I muted myself on accident. As I was saying, I don't know what was the last bit you heard.
You asked how many games he played.
Yeah, I was looking at Henny. He's a factor in the return thing, so didn't really do anything in week 3. They say he's back to full health. I don't hate him. Justin Hall is an option for the Roughnecks, but he's the most expensive guy there. I don't love any of these guys, if I'm being honest. I want to play somebody. Maybe Emmanuel Butler.
I mean, I feel like we're paying Butler from the Roughnecks, right?
Yeah, 3,700.
What makes you like him?
So I'm just trying to look at the target share. Like Justin Hall obviously is the guy, but he's 7,300, and he's not giving you those kinds of the points to kind of warrant it. He's kind of become the guy, but also they have a different fucking quarterback now.
All right, so we're looking at right now.
I'd say it's either Hall or Butler for me. I'm a big Steven Dunbar guy, but he hasn't been getting targets.
Who led them in targets last week?
I believe it was Hall, wasn't it? Targeted 7 times. That was Grayson targeted 6. Dunbar was 3. Chisholm. Oh, that's not what I want. Let's go look at Kiki Chisholm because I remember hearing his name a lot. Chisholm was also 3. And not a ton for anybody. Butler.
I'm gonna go
5.
Hall. I'm gonna go Hall.
We're gonna spend up to 7,300 and go Hall.
We're gonna spend up to 7,300 and go Hall.
I can dig it.
All right.
Okay.
Next wide receiver. You're adamant you want a Battlehawks guy. I will let you pick the Battlehawks guy.
I want to take a shot on a Battlehawks guy. I like it to be against Memphis. I'm wary to go Butler again. I'm going to go Aitman. How many targets did Aitman get last week? 4. He only caught 1 of them. He had a killer. I remember he had a killer drop.
All right.
And then Shepard had also 4 targets for 3 catches. I might go Aitman here.
Okay.
Or do I skip on the Battlehawk for now? Because I'm also feeling Deion Kane, if I'm being honest.
Deion King?
For the Stallions. Deion Kane, my man.
But we have the flex positions, though.
That's true. Shout out Chris Mason on your YouTube. Yeah, I'm gonna go Aitman. I'm taking the shot on Aitman. Okay, flex, Eric. We got 2 flexes.
Who'd you go with? You went with Aitman?
I went with Aitman. I went with Marcellus Aitman.
All right. Which game do you feel is going to be the highest scoring?
Ooh. It is either the Renegades Roughnecks or Showboats Battlehawks in my mind.
Okay, let's stack Perez. Let's gamble. Which wide receiver is Perez going to look at?
God, Vaughn's went off last week, didn't he? That's who went off last week? Yeah.
Vaughn's went up last week.
He does target the hell out of Tyler Vaughn's. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Targeted 13 times last week, then 7 and 7. I think he targets him more than almost any other of his fucking receivers.
Do we have Vaughn's even in here yet?
Yeah, Tyler Vaughn's. Yeah, he's in here.
He's only 6,100. Let's run it back with him. Let's do it.
Let's do it with how cheap he is. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have $8,300 to play with.
Yes, sir.
Now, Panthers are playing the Brahmas.
I don't know if I want anyone in that game right now. Like, we already have McFarland, the running back for San Antonio.
I kind of feel we need some exposure to the Stallions right now.
I was gonna say, I would like to get at least one Stallion on there.
All right, so let's look at that game.
Okay.
Let's focus our attention.
You're the Birmingham players.
So basically, we can do anybody but Marlborough.
Yeah, anyone but CJ
Maribel, sorry.
Ricky Person gets a lot of play. See if it's Corral. I think Sternberger's a really good play because he loves him so much. Deion K, now that he's been back, he wasn't really a factor in week 1, but he's come alive. Like, Deion Kane is their best receiver.
All right, and you know what? Let's do it. Let's go Deion Kane.
Okay.
Boom. So we have
Luis Perez, McFarland, Hall, Aitman, Vaughn, Kane, and the Renegades defense.
I like this because we got exposure everywhere. The only team we really don't have any exposure to is Michigan, and which I'm absolutely fine with that.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm entering it right now. I forget what I placed last week, but it wasn't great. So we'll see how we do this week. Erik, last bit. So you know how much I love to do these like season-long crazy bets, right?
Oh, Jim, I've had a good day. Don't give me a fucking ulcer.
So what I'm doing this week, Erik, is I'm not picking a team. I'm not picking a team at all. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the wheel decide what team I'm betting against.
Oh my God, Jim.
So Erik, the punishment for this is going to be, I'm going to try this in college football later this year too. Shout out the college football tailgate.
But why? Like, why?
Erik, I love upping the ante. You can't just be betting money all the time.
Dude, that's all I want to bet is money.
No,
dude.
It can't just be money. It's got to be something. So what I'm doing for this one, Erik, is I'm going to get a tattoo.
Oh my God, Jim.
If this team wins, I'm getting a tattoo. I'm going to come up with something later for what the tattoo will be. I might leave it up to a vote. But if this team wins, Erik, if this team wins, I'm getting a tattoo. You ready to see what team it's going to be?
No.
Are you ready?
Jim.
If this team wins, I'm getting a tattoo. If the Memphis Showboats win the UFL, I will get...
No. Win this weekend?
No. The whole league. The whole league. This is a future bet. They have to win the whole league.
I think you're good.
If the Memphis Showboats win the UFL, I will get a tattoo. Tune in next week to figure out what the tattoos are going to be. I'm going to have another wheel for what the tattoos will be if the Showboats win.
Okay.
That was the segment. I wanted your reaction to that, Erik.
Can one of the choices be a picture of Chase's face on your ass?
Yes.
Okay.
It have to be a small. Well, depends how expensive that is, but yes, that'll be an option. I'm also, just so people are aware, of tuning in the college football tailgate later this year. I'm gonna spin a wheel with I think all the Power 5 teams, all the Power 4 teams. And if that team ends up winning it, I'm going to do something. Probably another tattoo or whatever. I don't know yet. Maybe get my chest waxed.
Jim, you're killing me, dude.
But Erik, you got to keep things interesting. You got to keep it fun.
Jim, you're killing me right now. I love you, but you're fucking killing me right now.
That's what I do. That's what I live for. All right, folks. This is going to be a great week of UFL action. Remember to tune in next week because week 5 is the week of chaos, the week of craziness in these spring leagues. I call it every single year. So make sure you tune in next week. Week 4 is going to be a banger. Love you guys. Erik, tell the people what you got going on.
I got my podcast coming out later in the week. You're going to be on it talking UFL. My boy Brandon's going to be on it talking NASCAR. My boy David's going to be on it talking NBA. My live show was yesterday. Big NBA playoff with my boy Bryce from the I Need It Sports Pod. And I may go live for some NFL stuff, possibly. Not NFL, NBA stuff on Saturday. I don't know. I'm going to be away at the draft next week, so I have a little work I need to get done on that. So I don't know, but it's a possibility.
I don't know. There's just a lot of trying after play. We're trying to make some stuff happen, and they're doing a little extra pushing and shoving. We're trying to get our fucking job done.
That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get our fucking job done. Y'all know where to find me at XFL Gym everywhere. So the stream this weekend will not be on YouTube. You have to go to the Twitch. You have to go to twitch.tv/XFL Gym in order to watch the stream. Because we're in YouTube timeout.
Someone's in fucking timeout.
I'm in YouTube timeout. But anyway, you guys know where to find us. Go to Rail Retros. Use the promo code. We love them. They love us. We love you. And we'll see you next time for some